Hey everyone, in this video we will go over the 2-3 zone defense. The 2-3 zone is set up with a 2-guard top and 3 bottom defenders. Like every zone, players are responsible for areas on the court rather than matching up with an individual opponent. The top 2 defenders are responsible for the top and wing areas. The bottom defenders cover the area around the lower key and baseline. Specific coverages: guarding the perimeter of the 2-3 zone. Here we will go over guarding the first pass. What is the first pass in basketball? Generally speaking, the first pass in basketball is a pass made by an offensive player to a player directly next to them. The second pass is to a teammate who isn't directly next to them. If the ball is at the top, these are the first passes, and these are the second passes. When the ball is on the wing, these are the first passes, and these are the second passes. And when the ball is in the corner, this is the first pass, and these are the second passes. So let's go over guarding the first pass on the perimeter. We'll start with the ball at the top, and for demonstrative purposes, all 5 offensive players are on the perimeter. When the ball is passed to the wing on a first pass, the closest top defender will pick up this player in their zone. The opposite guard will slide over toward the middle line, and our bottom 3 defenders will shift toward the ball. When the ball is passed to the corner on a first pass from the wing, the closest bottom defender will close out on this player in their zone. The 2 top guards will slide down, and our 2 bottom defenders will also move down below the level of the ball. A good rule to practice as a bottom defender is to never be higher than the ball and other offensive players. This will eliminate cuts to the basket that you cannot defend because you can't see them coming. Here's a look at the ball swinging around the perimeter. The 2-3 zone defensive players rotate the exact same way on both sides of the court. Now let's look at the second pass from the top to the baseline corners. When this second pass is made, the same defensive rotations are made by all 5 of our defenders. Player 3 will close out on the ball. Player 2 moves to cover the first pass. Player 1 drops down into the paint. And our 4 and 5 players drop down to stop any baseline cuts and maintain a strong middle zone coverage. Now let's look at the second pass from the wing. When this second pass is made, the same defensive rotations are made by all 5 of our defenders. Player 4 will close out on the ball, and player 1 moves to cover the first pass and bumps player 4. Players 2, 3, and 5 rotate over towards the ball. Here's the second pass from the wing to the opposite corner. Player 4 will close out on the ball as player 1 moves to cover the first pass. All other defenders rotate toward the ball. Now let's look at the second pass coverage from the baseline corner. This second pass out to the top will be a closeout and recover. Player 1 will close out on the ball to prevent an open shot, then drop down as player 2 rotates over. Some coaches will choose to keep one of the top guards out in this zone to force a side. I'll cover that later on in this video where I go over trapping from the 2-3 zone. This second pass or skip pass from the baseline corner is in player 1's zone, but player 4 will close out until player 1 can recover. The bottom defenders closing out on the wing need only remain until the top guard calls them off. They can either say something like bump or I got him to communicate to their teammate to rotate over. You rarely see this second pass from the baseline corner to the opposite corner, mainly because the rim and the backboard are in the way. But here's the zone rotation if you do see this pass.